Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover the breaking news, culture, matic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Today is June 30th, 2023. And it seems like our friends over at the SEC, and we got a lot of flack this morning for the title. We put the SEC rejected the BlackRock ETF. That's not true. So we did change the title. And we appreciate the plebs and the Bitcoiners in the chat for giving us that feedback and keeping us honest. So we changed the title to the SEC stops the BlackRock ETF, which is a lot more appropriate. But at the same time, you know, you need to put some clickbait in there, bro. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, you know. Anyways, it is YouTube. That's just how things work, man. That's why the altcoin channels get so many clicks and stuff like that, because I don't know, they just don't care whatsoever. Whatever it takes to get views. Anyways, so that's the breaking news. We have the Wall Street Journal article. We're going to cover all of that today. We're also going to be covering an article it released on the Financial Times, which Opti rightly so calls the Fiat Times. And in that article, they're making the case for digital currencies in Europe, and some of their, you know, reasonings and all that is just absolutely hilarious. It's just total cope, in my opinion. So we're going to cover that, and then follow up, because we did cover this slightly on yesterday's episode, Nigel Farage and how he got debanked. And, you know, Nigel Farage was behind the Brexit movement, and he has some contrarian beliefs, and he has quite a big of a platform, and they debanked him for it. And but here's the thing, you know, and he was complaining, and Beauty On said it perfectly in that tweet that he came out with yesterday that we read you guys in yesterday's episode. Look, I think it's time to stop complaining. It's time to take action, right? It's time to take agency. You know, if you're upset with the current financial system, I am, right? I look, if it wasn't impossible to run a business on a Bitcoin standard at the moment, everything would be on a Bitcoin standard. Individually, I'm on a Bitcoin standard, you know, because for two reasons, like ideological reasons. Like I know that I'm holding money that when I take it into self-custody, that actually belongs to me. It's not an IOU. And for the other reason is, you know, I truly believe that the world would be a much better place, a much more fair place, a much more equitable place if, you know, if we're right about Bitcoin and hyper Bitcoinization happens, and that we pull off what we fight for, every single day. And of course, this isn't a kinetic war. This is information trench warfare. So when I say fight, I mean winning over the hearts and minds. I think that the world would be a much better place for us, for the future generations, if we accomplish separating money from state. And the reason is simple. No man, doesn't matter who you are, no group of men should have the privilege and the power, because it's not only a privilege, there's power that comes with it, of being able to create money for free that everyone else has to work for. Anyways, no more delay. Let me bring up my legendary co-host, always optimistic, always in a good mood, always with a smile on his face. He came out with a Christine Lagarde meme this morning.
Cap.
No, it was like a central bank digital currency meme. And like, are you and Chrissy okay? Are you guys fighting? Back together? Still talking? What's going on there?
Dog, I ghosted her, but she hit me up, so I got a Drake meme saying the classic, not central bank digital currency, it's central bank digital control. No, I didn't talk to her, bro. I blocked her number. Come on, quit trolling me in the chat. You know, I'm gonna leave that one. All right. All this stuff is well and good over here. Like, who cares about this ETF? I want to talk about our guest today. I am bringing our buddy up on here, Rope, aka Ropium, everyone's favorite memer. Everyone's favorite memes that they steal from Rope. He's on the show today. I'm happy to have Rope. I think you guys are gonna like this rabbit hole story and how he got into memes, and then I'm gonna troll him out a little bit because how else would I deal with one of our favorite shit posters on Twitter if it's not a bunch of trolls? So how you doing this morning, Rope?
Doing great, doing good. Everything's going well for me.
Well, we're
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you on the show, brother. It's been a while. I don't think this is your first time, right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Absolutely. Well, dude.
Wow, he's official. Yes, sir.
It's official. Welcome on.
It's my Southern gentleman manners. I have to. It's yes, ma'am. No, sir. It's
I like it. I like it. I like it. It's a good way, man. It shows respect. It shows respect. I do like that.
They're apologizing for stealing your memes already.
Manners will take you places where hard work can't.
Beautiful. You hear
Wisdom.
that? That's
Wisdom.
some signal. That's some.
Wow.
I feel like that's something my mom would tell. I feel like that's something Opti's mom would tell. A lot
For
of moms,
sure.
bro. A lot of moms they'll say something like that. Anyways, there's nothing like
some wisdom from Rope.
There's nothing like that Southern hospitality. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the show. We got a hell of a show lined up for you guys. Let's jump into it.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. Guys, I want to tell you about the biggest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth, Bitcoin 2024. It's going to be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee. It's not going to be in Miami this year. And it's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth. You definitely don't want to miss it. Opti and I we went to Bitcoin 2023. We had a great time. Opti was born. He endured. He went through his first crucible of fire. He was on the analyst desk. I was nervous. I was telling him, Opti, you got it. And then Opti absolutely killed it. It was just a great old time. We got to meet so many of you guys in the flesh. We really appreciated it. Guys, if you want, because a lot of us hang out on Bitcoin Twitter, right? But you can't like replace the human element. Like you can't do that over cyberspace. So, Bitcoin conferences are some of the best opportunities to meet, these friends that you've created online fighting the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. And the Bitcoin 2024 conference is definitely one of my favorite conferences of the year. It's July 25th through the 27th. You can take advantage of the early bird ticket specials, $299 for GA, Industry Pass $749, Whale Pass $4,499, and you can take advantage of the promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a big discount. Seems like Clark Moody is down for today, so we're going to be using a different dashboard. And shout out to TC, absolute legend, for developing. This is called the time chain calendar for anyone who doesn't know. We're gonna go through some different stats, right? Some different stats that we usually don't go through. So first, let's start off with the block height. The block height is 796,585. The epoch, we're in the fourth epoch. The current block subsidy is 6.25. That's going to be cut in half in April of next year, roughly. The current supply of Bitcoin is 19.42 million, basically 92.46% of the total supply. The sats per US dollar is currently at 3,323. And the current exchange rate of Bitcoin, it fell about $1,000 due to the BlackRock ETF news breaking. It's currently sitting pretty at $30,089. And the average block time currently is 9 minutes and 25 seconds, which tells me that there's more Bitcoin miners are going online, so that the hash rate will continue to go up. The next difficulty adjustment is going to be 6.44%, and the current hash rate is 368 exahashes. Bullish. There's currently 291,000 unconfirmed transactions in the mempool. So if you guys haven't checked out this site, definitely check it out. Time chain calendar. It's a different look compared to Clark Moody's, and we're also going to check out Ant's dashboard as well, which I think is really interesting. But for today, we couldn't access Clark Moody's, so of course, Bitcoiners are just Bitcoiners are always building, and there's so many good resources that we can use for the numbers. Anyway, so I kind of want to double back on what we were talking about yesterday about Nigel Farage. So Nigel Farage was the main proponent of the Brit exit, which was very unpopular with the Cantillionaire class. They're a big fan of this globalist movement, and this person was against that, and he is getting, according to him, he's getting politically persecuted. He has been debanked. He's having a hard time, finding other banks that would take his business. Apparently, they have given him no explanation or recourse. We covered this yesterday. Beautyon did this beautiful tweet covering and I agree with Beautyon, right? Which is, look, you can complain, and before Bitcoin, you were kind of screwed, but now Bitcoin, just opt out. It's going to be slightly uncomfortable. Like, make no mistake, like living on a Bitcoin standard is not easy at the moment. There's awesome Bitcoin companies like the Bitcoin company that make it easy to live off your Bitcoin. Of course, there's a multitude of exchanges, where you could, if you're in a pinch, you could sell your Bitcoin, even though we don't recommend that, sell it to dollars and then use those dollars to pay for it per stuff. What Vikingo says is the best advice, in my opinion. Stay solvent, the last thing you want to do is sell your Bitcoin. But Nigel, I know that at Bitcoin Amsterdam you had a talk, and you definitely said that, look, I understand this Bitcoin thing is Bitcoin's freedom money. The government can't control it. So this is your opportunity. Use your platform to push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. And, there's never been a more pressing time, because they're trying to get rid of cash. And this is what I want to cover today during the numbers segment, right? So they're trying to get rid of cash everywhere. It's not just, in the United States that they're trying to get rid of cash. In New York City, for example, you can't pay with cash. You're forced to pay with debit card. France, makes it illegal to pay. This is our headline article for anyone who's listening to this. It is illegal to pay over 1,000 euros in cash. 15,000 maximum cash payments for non-residents. So if you're a resident, you can only pay $1,000 euros maximum. If not, it has to be an electronic payment. Why? Why does it have to be an electronic payment? Well, it's a lot easier for them to for them to know exactly what's going on, to control the money flows at the end of the day. And then, now that I've said that, do you see how incompatible Bitcoin is with their system? And I think eventually that's going to come to head. There's going to be a clash there as more and more people choose to opt out, this phenomenon is already happening in the I was about to say third world, but in developing countries, better said. I think that their ability to impose these controls is going to be severely diminished, to be honest. So I don't know what they're going to plan to do. I suspect that they're going to react in a hostile manner, right? Because I just think the two systems are incompatible, in my opinion. Anyways, and this is not just happening with Nigel Farage. It's not just happening it's not just happening in France. This is a Reddit post, and shout out to BTC Archive for taking a screenshot of this. He goes on to say the withdrawal of cash refused because I wouldn't tell them what's it for. And this is a Reddit post from an Anon. And it goes on to say, can someone tell me what to do here? I'm trying to draw 10K in cash from my Halifax account. And after an hour and a half of what can only be described as an interrogation asking me what I intended to do with the money, I am being coerced into withdrawal. The bank said that they are not happy to let me draw the money out and refused my request. So, and then this kind of goes back to a tweet that, has resonated with a lot of people on Twitter, which is, if you have to ask someone else for permission to use your money, then it truly isn't really your money, right? So, this illusion, and I get this person's confusion, right? Because he goes there and he's like, okay, this is my hard-earned money. I'm putting it in a bank. Bank, please, please give me my hard-earned money so I could spend it. I just need it in cash. And the bank says no, right? So think about that for a second. That is his money. He worked for it. But the bank is telling him how he can and how he can't use his money. And then connect that with Nigel Farage, and then connect that with the news coming out of France. This is why I say, and I'm not hyperbolic when I say it, it is Bitcoin or slavery. This is the world that they want us to live in. A world where a bureaucratic elite get to control the money flows, get to control the money supply, get to control who's entitled to use money, who's not entitled to use money with the current, sanctioning regime system. And what the world that Bitcoiners are advocating for is a world of peace, prosperity, freedom, where no man has the ability to control the money flows, where no man has the ability to create money for free, where no man has the ability to censor another man and tell another man what he can and cannot do with their money. But this only works if you take Bitcoin into self-custody. If you don't take Bitcoin into self-custody, you might find yourself in a very similar situation than this gentleman from the UK. You say, hey, Mr. Exchange, can I have my Bitcoin? They're like, yeah, 99% of the time they'll probably say yes. But sometimes they'll say no. But when you have Bitcoin in self-custody and you're doing it properly, you don't got to worry about that. So the writing's on the wall. They're trying to get rid of cash. Don't fall for that BS. Don't do it. Take a little bit of time, learn some personal responsibility, and learn how to take Bitcoin into self-custody. It's not that hard. And shout out to, a brother of ours, BTC Sessions. He's dropping some amazing tutorials. You could literally ask YouTube how to take Bitcoin into self-custody. He'll walk you through the entire freaking process. You do not have an excuse at this point anymore. And before you know it, you might find yourself in a situation like the gentleman trying to withdraw cash in the UK, or even worse, like Nigel Farage, who's been completely debanked because of his political viewpoint. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts? And then we'll move on to Rope.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, the fiat cartel are the best marketers for Bitcoin. They just, they unbank the bank, and then hopefully they wake up and they go into Bitcoin. So the Streisand effect happening in real time. Love to see it. But on the Nigel news, I don't know if I said this yesterday, but imagine talking at a Bitcoin conference and not having any Bitcoin. Like, can't relate. I mean, actually, I lost all of mine in a boating accident. So I also have no Bitcoin, and I just talk about Bitcoin every single day. But the cashless society is coming sooner than people would want to believe. Remember, we are in the last day of June, and allegedly FedNow is coming next month. So hello, guys, it's here. Welcome to the cashless society that they want for you. And then let's not forget about China. They've already rolled out their central bank digital control mechanisms. So I think a lot of people don't realize. And then furthermore, like, I don't know about you, but hey, look, I use a card most of the time. Like, it's already basically cashless where I am for the most part. I hardly ever see cash. But to your point, I'm gonna double down a little harder than you did, Nico. Like, it's not your money when you give it to your bank. It's a loan that you gave to that bank, and they can go do whatever they want with that money. As we saw in 2008, as we saw this last year. The banks are bigger degenerates and shitcoiners out there, and they trade away all your money and then say, oopsies, it's FDIC insured. We'll just print some more money. So again, I think I said this yesterday or maybe a couple times this week. Don't leave more money in the bank than you're willing to lose. I know I am like a caveman with the idea of like keep your bed or your money under your bed, but that seems like legitimately the safest place for your money. I know you guys want to get some kind of interest on your money, but like, there's not much money that they're giving out for you, and the liabilities, I don't know if it's worth it, man. You're going to give your bank your entire savings. They're going to lose it all. And they're going to offer you like 0.5% or something ridiculous for them to hold your money. I don't know. It seems like a scam, but hey, maybe I'm an extremist. I'm the Bitcoiner where it's like, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't feel like a good deal. But, you know, again, maybe I'm so far down the rabbit hole that I understand taking my money into self-custody is the best way moving forward because I don't have to trust people. It's very simple. But then again, I've had a piggy bank my whole life, so maybe I've just been primed for this. You know, I always take my money into self-custody, and I've never trusted banks since I was like 13. So maybe I was born a Bitcoiner. I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, dude. I mean, you know, maybe it was always, maybe there was always something there. Anyways, guys, smash that like button. Help us get to 100 likes by the end of the video. We've been on a roll. We've been able to do that the last 5-6 days thanks to you guys. So smash that like button. Smash it. Kaboom Rex. Anyways, Rope, what are your thoughts on Opti's comments?
Couple things. So I haven't really been keeping up with the Neil story. This is kind of news to me, but the cashless society is for sure coming. Just like from my own personal experience, I'm like a lifetime restaurant worker. I grew up in one. I started cooking at one at a young age, and then I moved on to serving. 2016, 15, I would get my credit card tips at the end of every shift. I would go to the register or whoever, the manager, and they would give them to me instantly. And cash is so little, minimally used these days, where the one I'm working at now, I don't get my credit card tips. I only get cash tips if somebody pays in cash. So I'm on like a little 2-week, pay schedule for them. So it's already trending that way. As far as the under the mattress comment, yeah, it's definitely, I like the idea of cash. I understand that the dollar, the euro, whatever, it's a shit coin, but for like instant anonymous payment, I still like that idea. Obviously there's things like Lightning that's coming along, but I wouldn't say that's ready for widespread use by any means, but the idea of cash is still attractive to me for just the reasons that I listed. I don't hold a lot of it. I'm like Opti. I use debit card for pretty much anything. But it's definitely coming, and it's kind of weird when I can remember talking about this to my friends and family in like 2010 or 11, and still 10, 15 years later, it's still going that direction.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. And you have an on-the-ground experience of this, right? So like you're seeing it firsthand. We're not just getting the information from, news sources and articles or whatever. This is something that you've actually experienced yourself. Right. So, and I think that is, why are you guys cracking up?
I'm trolling Rope in the chat.
We should pull it up, man.
That was a good one.
Oh, shout out to the Dr. Jeff Ross in the chat. Hey, Dr. Ross, how you doing? Always happy to have you, man. He's love when Dr. Ross comes on Simply Bitcoin IRL and drops those truth bombs. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into news. We got a tremendous amount to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
All right, guys, I also want to tell you about the Orange Pill app. They are building the social layer for Bitcoin. As crazy as that sounds, without the people, Bitcoin is just ones and zeros. Bitcoin is the people. Bitcoin is you, it's me, it's Opti, it's Satoshi, it's Dr. Ross, it's Rope. Download the Orange Pill app for iOS or Android and connect with other Bitcoiners in real life today. Find other Bitcoiners that live near you, and you can go into the app totally anon and search for other Bitcoiners for common interest. Orange Pill app is also the world's biggest repository of for Bitcoin-only events. If you want to meet other Bitcoiners in real life, this is the app for you. Sign up through the App Store, and you can even pay in sats. Download the Orange Pill app today. Anyways, everybody, we got a lot of news to talk about. So first, let's start off with the breaking news. The SEC says spot Bitcoin ETFs are inadequate. But before you put your panties in a bunch, speaking of Dr. Ross, and this is totally a coincidence, Opti recommended we pull up his tweet to give a little bit of context. Dr. Ross said, if you're in the pro spot Bitcoin ETF camp, then this negative headline is probably good news disguised as bad news. Eric Baluchens said, hold up a second. This isn't as bad as headline. The key paragraph is deep in the story. Basically, SEC wants them to name the crypto exchange and give them more details on SSA. That's understandable, arguably good news. I was under the impression they would have to update that as well. Here's the full Wall Street Journal article. We'll check that out as well. Here's the headline. SEC says spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. When this news broke, it led to the price of Bitcoin to literally fall $1,000 very, very quickly. It hit 31,000 this morning, fell back down to 30. Now it's back up to 30,275. They don't call it the Bitcoin roller coaster for no reason. Anyways, the article goes on to say the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, said a recent wave of applications filed by asset managers to launch spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds are inadequate, according to people familiar with the matter. The agency informed exchanges NASDAQ and Cboe Global Markets, which filed the applications on behalf of asset managers, including BlackRock and Fidelity Investments, that the filings aren't sufficiently clear and comprehensive, the people said. Prices of Bitcoin and other crypto-related stocks have surged since mid-June when BlackRock filed paperwork with the SEC for an ETF that holds actual Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency has climbed about 20%, rising above 30,000 for the first time since April. Shares of Coinbase, which is listed as a custodian for the BlackRock fund's holdings, have soared more than 30% over the same period. A wave of traditional and crypto asset managers followed in BlackRock's footsteps. Fidelity Investments, Cathie Wood's ARK Investment Management, Invesco, WisdomTree, Bitwise Asset Management, Valkyrie all reactivated or amended their applications for a spot Bitcoin ETF in recent days. An ETF that tracks the actual price of Bitcoin would mark a watershed moment for the industry because it would provide wider access to the cryptocurrency. It would allow investors to buy and sell Bitcoin through a brokerage account as easily as shares of stock. Now, here's that paragraph is from the paranoid Bitcoiner perspective, right? Caitlin Long warns about this all the time, the dangers of rehypothecation, right? And what I don't want to happen is, yes, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just, they open their Robinhood app and they're like, oh, I have exposure to Bitcoin. I have the BlackRock ETF. Yeah, that's fine. Number go up. But do they really own that Bitcoin? Remember what we covered in the very beginning about the bank. What are you going to do with that? Do you really own that Bitcoin? Not to mention the manipulations, not to mention the more influence that this is going to give BlackRock, more than they already have. So it's like, this is bittersweet. Like, yeah, it might make the price go up, but the revolution is only possible if enough people take self-custody. If enough people take self-custody, there's nothing they could do, and we'll win this thing. But you'll know that it's a lot of people, especially the older generations that have been living in the fiat matrix for the majority of their lives. They're gonna say, hey, look, I could just buy this on my Charles Schwab account. Like, why do I need to, go through the hassle of creating an account with Swan or creating through an account with Strike or Cash App or one of the Bitcoin or or Coinbase if you like shitcoin casinos, whatever floats your boat. Why am I going to go through the hassle of doing that if I could just buy exposure? I could just buy the BlackRock ETF, which is going to give me exposure to Bitcoin. I don't even have to change anything. So it's a bittersweet moment. There's pros to it and there's cons to it. Anyways, it goes on to say the SEC has repeatedly rejected such funds going back to 2017 on the grounds that they are vulnerable to fraud and market manipulation. At least half a dozen ETFs that own Bitcoin futures are already on the market. Investors and analysts viewed the bid by the world's largest money manager as the best hope for a spot Bitcoin ETF, partly because of its near perfect near perfect record seeing applications through. Some industry watchers predicted that BlackRock's filing would appease the SEC's concern through an agreement to share surveillance of a spot Bitcoin trading platform with NASDAQ, which would list the ETF. Yet the SEC told the exchanges that it returned the filings because they didn't name the spot Bitcoin exchange with which they are expected to have, quote, a surveillance sharing agreement, or provide enough information about the details of those surveillance agreements. Asset managers can update the language and refile. A CBO spokesman said it plans to update and refile. NASDAQ and the SEC declined to comment. Representatives for BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, WisdomTree, ARK Investments declined to comment as well. Representatives for Bitwise and Valkyrie didn't respond to requests for comment. So it's interesting because there's a new show that Swan dropped on Monday called the Nakamoto Portfolio Gauntlet. In that show, we had Greg Foss. I was producing in the background. We had Greg Foss. We had Joe Carlasari. We had Elliot Johnson. We had Dom hosting it. We have Alpha Zeta, part of Swan as well. And during that conversation, from my understanding, Elliot Johnson, which is the founder of Evolve ETF, which was Canada's first Bitcoin ETF, from my understanding, the company that BlackRock was planning to use and had a surveillance agreement in place was Coinbase, right? So I'm just curious. You know, I thought there was already one that was being mentioned. And then another thing is that I still don't think, and this isn't just me saying this, I saw a tweet from American HODL, Elliot Johnson, again, you know, the founder of Evolve ETF, Canada's first Bitcoin ETF, also strongly believes that, you know, this BlackRock ETF still has a very, very high probability that it's going to get approved. So, and I believe that as well, just because I know how much political influence BlackRock has, because they basically own a large portion of every Fortune 500 company. And that gives them the tremendous amount of influence, you know, in DC. So I still think that this is, you know, maybe it's like the SEC trying to save face. Like, no, you know, even though you're BlackRock, this filing wasn't exactly perfect. So you're going to have to go back, and then they're going to come back, and then, you know, they'll get it approved. I still think this is going to get approved. And yes, awesome for the price. Great, phenomenal, right? But at the same time, you know, heed Catlin Long's warnings, rehypothecation. And also, look, we don't fix anything if people are not taking Bitcoin into self-custody. Nothing changes, right? It will inevitably be co-opted, just like gold was co-opted. Gold failed where Bitcoin could succeed. Gold's physical properties limit it, right? If you have a large amount of gold, it's hard to transport. It's impossible to send instantaneously. Try going to a CVS like with a little pick and like tick, 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 here. And then the CVS person's like, yeah, let me weigh your gold. Like, you can't do that. You can do that with Bitcoin, right? You could take self-custody your Bitcoin instantaneously, and you could send it anywhere around the world, right? So there is no physical characteristics that are limiting the ability of people taking self-custody. There is no physical characteristics of it. You know what does limit it? It's the information asymmetry. It's the fact that people don't actually understand what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is not just an investment. Bitcoin is literally the separation of money and state. Bitcoin is about taking back your time, your energy, your work, taking it back into your own hands, right? But you only benefit from that if you take Bitcoin into self-custody. If you don't do that and you outsource that to a company like BlackRock that has been pushing this ESG garbage for the last 5 years, right? Not to mention all the other kind of sketchy stuff. Like, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're empowering them even more. So anyways, it is a bittersweet moment. Let's see what happens. But I stand by what I was saying. I still think this thing's going to get approved. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts? And then we'll move on to Rope.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the same train that this will eventually get approved. But nice catch on that Coinbase custody, because I completely forgot about that, and that's exactly what they said. So that's a very interesting point. And maybe considering all the custodial reckoning we've seen in the past couple of years, maybe this ends up being a good thing, but also having my tinfoil hat on, it just kind of feels like a delay to make sure that everyone in the higher positions pack their bags and are ready to get on board before.
Rocket ship, get on
So
board.
personally, I really don't care about an ETF, but I understand why institutional money would. But I think it's very interesting, or rather funny, to see people dump Bitcoin right now, or at least see the Bitcoin price fluctuate down a little bit and then get instantly eaten back up. So I think it's pretty bullish that this didn't really affect anything. I think most people in the space now know why they're holding Bitcoin and are holding it for the long run. But I think the quote unquote smart money is still trying to get some volatility on the price, not only so that they can make money, but also so that they can stack their bags. So I think it's just it's pretty interesting to see this play out, or rather like really not affect anything in the market, and just TikTok next block.
Yeah, and you said something really interesting about the smart money aspect, and I think Dr. Ross nailed it, right? He says Wall Street gonna Wall Street, just keep stacking sats while they all muddle around. I think that's a really good point. Anyways, Rope, what's your opinion on all this, my friend?
Yeah, I'm kind of more of around with Opti. I don't particularly care about it too much. It is what's going to happen is what's going to happen. It is what it is either way. Personally, I'm kind of a fan of it not happening for as long as possible. I didn't start really stacking until 2021. I think I bought the top at like 64K and just watched it drop, and I'm still here. So the longer the price stays as low as possible, I'm happy for me to keep stacking.
Yeah, and Dr. Ross said he just posted. He said Joe Carlosara gives the SEC approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF only a 10% chance of approval, and he's 10 times smarter and more informed than I am.
Than all of us.
And I think Dr. Ross is being humble. But what's interesting, Dr. Ross, is that Joe Carlosara was on that Swan episode. He was on that Swan episode with Greg Foss and Elliot Johnson, the Nakamoto Portfolio Gauntlet episode. So it's interesting. Anyways, this is some crazy stuff. We'll stay on top of it as best we can, guys, and yeah. But anyways, before we move on to the culture, guys, remember what I'm telling you. We will win this thing if you make it over the finish line with your generational wealth. And the way that you do that is by properly securing and backing up your Bitcoin wallet seed words and passphrases. There's no better place to do it than the BitPlates Domino. That's what it's designed for. It's easy to use. It's hard to destroy. Made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel. And it offers the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. Your dog can't eat this shit. If you drop it in the ocean, it's marine grade stainless steel, right? So definitely you want to back up your Bitcoin wallet seed words, your generational wealth on steel. Don't do it on paper. Anyways, guys, let's jump straight into the culture. We got a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, I want to tell you about the largest Bitcoin conference on the West Coast. And it's not even a conference this year, ladies and gentlemen. The Pacific Bitcoin Festival is one of my favorite Bitcoin festivals of the year. It is so unique. Got to hang out with Dr. Ross last year at it. It's October 5th through the 6th in Los Angeles, California. Of course, you could take advantage of the promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a huge discount. The featured speakers include Lynn Alden, Greg Foss, Alex Gladstein, Preston Pish, Corey Clipston, many, many more going to be announced soon. You want to take advantage of, the special pricing now. You don't want to wait till later while tickets get more expensive. Of course, Opti and I are going to be there as well. The conference is thrown in an airplane hangar. It is so freaking unique, guys. I can't recommend it enough. Definitely check out the Pacific Bitcoin Festival. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a major discount. Anyways, Opti, what are we? This looks like some memes, bro.
Yeah, so 30-minute meme review. Sorry, guys, not sorry. No, I'm kind of joking. Not really fully joking. If you guys don't know who Rope is, I think he's come on very hard on the scene recently. Pause. And he is everyone's favorite memer, and everyone steals his memes. But I think you have a great story when it comes to how you got into making memes, and I absolutely love it because I'm pretty sure it does involve Nico kind of loosely as well. So, Rope, can you tell everyone how you got into the meme game and maybe touch on a little bit of the journey since?
Okay, we'll back up just a little bit before the meme game. So I got kind of orange pilled in like 2021. I was buying, the shit coins and the Bitcoins and stuff. But seeing Mallers announce the legal tender deal at the conference kind of changed how I looked at Bitcoin and made me realize why it was different than the rest that summer. Got rid of my little cornucopia of bullshit, went all in on Bitcoin, just lurked on Twitter, stayed on Twitter, trying to figure out how to find a place here, make some friends here. Cause I realized that a lot of these people have the same worldview as me, that the money was broken, and until we can fix that, nothing's going to get better at all. And then the next conference came around. I'd still been lurking. I think I had I know it was less than 500 followers, probably closer to like 100 or 250 or something. And I was going through watching the conference again in Miami, and the meme review panel, it was Nico, Phil, Big Sean, Greg, Chairforce. I was watching that one, and it was kind of right after I'd watched the Mallers keynote again. I think I watched it like 3 times, and it just had me feeling like super, like really bullish, and wanted to figure out some way to contribute. And towards the end of that meme review panel, there was a couple of things that got said, and I think it was American Hodl or Greg. One of them said it that memeing is basically what the founding fathers did. They distributed these ideas on pamphlets under pseudonymous names. I think I said that right. To spread their ideas, and that kind of like changed the way I thought about memes. And then towards the end of that panel, Sean Harris, who wasn't even supposed to be up there, he just snuck up on there, and we both laugh about that to this day. Said, just do one, just make a meme and just put it out there. And at that moment, I was just like, fuck it, that's what I'm going to do. And so I just downloaded a Meme Generator Pro and started making one, started making several kind of centered around what Mallers had debuted at the conference, where he kind of, went into the shop and was able to buy a Coke and peanuts using Lightning. And it was just already like integrated like that. And that also kind of like changed the way I thought about Bitcoin, to get back to that cash aspect, to where it's just instant, anonymous, and you just go on about your day. And so I just started putting those out, and one of the first ones, it went off for 800 likes or so, and I was like, oh shit, people like this. So I just kind of leaned in and just kept going. And then Labra, people like Labra, Greg, a couple of other people just like would DM me privately and say, hey, this is good. Keep going. And so I just kind of did that all summer, started getting added to, certain group chats and stuff where it's kind of like a writer's room in a lot of ways. You just put one meme up, somebody would take it, change it, then somebody else would take it, change it, twist it, and then we just put it out. And then, I just kind of kept going on like that. And then I guess you could say come August, it was shortly before the BBB. I made that Reaper meme that I really didn't think was gonna. I mean, I knew it was good, but I didn't think it was gonna do what it was gonna do. I put it out within 30 minutes. It was like 500-600 likes, and I was just like, oh shit, this one's going off. And then I guess a week later, Rusty kind of changed it up, made a GIF out of it, which was just hella dope, and told Sailor he could post it if he gave me and him credit. And then, ever since then, it's just been, much of the same thing, just hanging out in group chats, making memes, seeing what the stories of the day are, of the week, and just going on like that. And I mean, kind of like further on that process, or on this kind of line of thinking, I guess that's probably the coolest thing about Bitcoin to me to this day is the relationships that I've built here. I've always been more of like a social butterfly, so to say. I got along with pretty much everybody in school. I could hang out with any group in school or whatever. But, once I got out of school into my 20s, I did a lot of really dumb things, isolated myself in a lot of ways. And so I've kind of been a loner ever since then. But now it's like I have this, this whole network of people, and the most badass thing about it is, they're in Australia, they're in Norway, they're in Holland, they're in the Dominican Republic, they're in Ecuador, Uruguay, they're everywhere. And that's something that's extremely beautiful to me, is that I can hop on an app or 2 apps or 3 apps and talk to these people that, I might not never see where they live. I might not ever see their face. I might not ever go to their country, but I know that there's somebody there who sees the world almost exactly the same way that I see it. And that's something that I never really thought was possible for me, being, just a country kid growing up in Alabama. I'm not really well traveled at all. I think the furthest south I've been is Mexico when I was like 15. And then I went to like the furthest north I've been is like Ohio, but I'm not a really well traveled person. So to know that I have these people that are also legitimately the funniest people I know. I mean, I waste a lot of time just cutting up in these group chats, but at the same time, I'm laughing my ass off. We're having a good time. And even on Twitter, just, shit posting with my friends and just, spreading some joy and positivity, even though in many regards, the world seems to be kind of burning down around us, so to speak. Now, something beautiful, more perfect is going to be born from the ashes, of course, if this experiment works out. Because at the end of the day, I'm still of the opinion like this Bitcoin thing is an experiment. I believe it's going to work, but the world's never seen anything like this before. So that's why you just kind of, it is what it is. Just let what's going to happen. But I also agree with Opti that I think there's a divine aspect to this technology, to this money, that this is all preordained. But yeah.
Absolutely love it, Rope. I'm glad that I can just let you rant for a moment. But you did talk about something, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this, because we have Wyatt in the chat, and he's a huge fan of watermarks. And you're talking about the open source nature of memes. So what's your thoughts on watermarking memes? I don't think you do it, right?
No, I've never watermarked a meme. I think the only memes I've ever watermarked are certain video memes I made. As of late, I'm really trying to like expand my skill set in the video realm. I love making like music videos. Anything I can find and put music to is something that dope. I think is, I love doing that. Music is a very powerful tool. But as far as like the still one-shot memes, no, that's just not for me. If somebody wants to do that, that's cool. But I'm not really here to get credit for whatever. The only credit I really care about is when I send it to, the people that I talk to every day, like in the Few chat or the Meme Factory chat. They know I made it. That's enough for me. But as far as, all the thousands of people on Twitter, I don't, really care to get that kind of credit. I'd rather just, spread the idea, make somebody laugh. If somebody knows I made it, great. If not, cool, whatever, doesn't matter. But I just want you to like it.
Love it. Well, you talked about, just basically making a few memes to make like, a few, like a small group of friends. You're just like, yeah, I just make the memes to have my friends laugh. I always say it's very important to keep the morale up of everyone around there. Also ridicule the corporate press, but make funnies so that your friends can keep their head in the game. But speaking of making funnies and keeping your head in the game, how's it feel being the funniest member of the Meme Factory?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't, sir.
I'm just trolling, guys. I love you
Bring
guys.
Maybe the funniest looking, other than the yellow puppet, but
Wow.
that's it.
Maybe the funniest ginger on there. I don't know. I'm just talking smack.
Well,
at this
Becca
point.
doesn't count. She's a woman. Women aren't funny.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's get serious one more time. I do know that you are working your ass off right now to stack sats. So would you just give the audience out there some of that inspiration, some of that wisdom that you have over there, and why you are working so hard to stack them sats? I absolutely love this energy that you have over here, Rob. It get in the main vein, bro.
So I guess when I started buying going all in on Bitcoin, I was doing floors with my brother, working, for not a lot of money, basically all day and all night. Decided I want to switch things up, got into a completely different industry I'd never done before. Wasn't making the money that I wanted. It's a sales position. So, you gotta kind of build up to get to that, the good money. But I mean, I have to contribute a little something to Arizona Hodl, even though he kind of blocked me and he doesn't like me anymore. I'll still give him his flowers. When I asked him one day on Twitter, what's the cheat code? How do I stack more? Because obviously don't use leverage, blah 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 blah. He goes, you just have to work, man. It's proof of work. You have to get 2-3 jobs, and that kind of I didn't do it immediately, but that kind of changed my idea. Because, Opti and a lot of people know that a lot of my 20s I was spent just kind of fucking off, doing drugs, getting wasted, just wasting my time, so to speak. And now that I, kind of got sober and cleaned up and realized that there's more available to me if I just set my mind to it, that's when I decided, all right, I'm going to do this sales job, I'm going to build it up, and then at nights I'm going to get another restaurant job. And so I've been doing that. Because there is no shortcuts to this. It is proof of work, and that's one of the beautiful things about it. Nobody's going to make this Bitcoin for free that I have to work for. We all have to work for it, either if it's by, paying for your electricity bill to mine it, or going out and working 2 or 3 jobs to get it. There's no shortcuts in this, and it's very, I guess the word would be egalitarian. I don't know, I'm nothing boy, but yeah, it's very equal like that. It's a beautiful thing.
I think the word is egalitarian, but yeah.
Egalitarian. I know the word. I just,
Hey, I don't know words either. The English language is hard.
You're right. No. This was hard. All that trolling I used to do to you.
No, Rob, I think the most beautiful part about Bitcoin, it's something I not only love to talk about, but it fascinates me just how much Bitcoin actually changes your behavior. And there's so many of our friends, personal friends between you and I, that have the same story that, they just wasted so much time, and then they finally understood Bitcoin. They understood the opportunity that we have here, and they just start to change every little aspect about themselves so that they can stack Bitcoin and try to live a better life. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I think this is one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is just like what it does for the individual out there, and how it just like, it changes everything about you, because you realize I have the opportunity of a lifetime to change my whole existence by just stacking sats.
And not even just my existence. I mean, as of late, if Bitcoin goes to like $10 million tomorrow, of course I'm going to be happy, but at the same time, I have a kid. She's 6 years old. I don't want her to, I've said this before, I don't want my kid to be cattle. I don't want her to be a debt slave. I don't want her to have to work until she's 65 years old, I'm basically doing it for her. Obviously, I want to reap some of those rewards, but I want to have more kids at one day. And, it's like our buddy Nick Campmine says, I'm stacking for my last name. That's really what it comes down to for me. I don't care if I have to work till 65 or 70 or until I'm dead. I see my dad doing it. If he can do it, I can do it better, So if that's what it's going to be, that's what's going to be. But, if I can leave this planet, this realm of existence, and know that my kids are going to do something great because they don't have to be caught up in the rat race, that's its own reward for me.
Love it, bro. It's as much as you're a shit poster on Twitter, there's a lot of seriousness behind what Rope does, and I absolutely love it. As Tyler Durden swallowed the red pill says, be the change you want to see, guys. Like, I think this is I hate using the B word. The most beautiful thing about Bitcoin, like, you change yourself and you change the world around you, and every single one of us is doing that by just stacking as many sats as possible. And you said something. I absolutely love the meme that Nick created. I don't stack sats for my first name. I stack it for my last name. Dog. The easiest way to make
Now listen, that's called motherfucking
the easiest way to make Bitcoiners is literally to make Bitcoiners. So I haven't made any yet, but I'm on the mission. Let's go. All right, let's get into the memes. Let's get into the memes before we run out of time. All right, 1 second. Let me get over here. But Rope, really appreciate you coming on. I think that was an inspirational story. And maybe one more, actually 2 more sets. If there's someone out there that hasn't made a meme, what would you tell them?
The same thing that Sean kind of said, like, just make it. You got to think about what are the, weigh it out in your head. You're on an app. Nobody can see your face unless you've doxed yourself. But at that point, you can just make a new account. So it's not like, you're on a stage naked where everybody can just point and laugh at you. Just gotta go for it. If it sucks, it sucks. But the average person's memory, even Bitcoiners, we have pretty short memory sometimes. It's like, okay, you get dunked on or whatever. Don't fight the troll. If you fight the troll, you're gonna become it. So just make a meme, put it out there. It might suck, it might do good, but you got to keep doing it. Keep doing it, and you'll get better at it. And then people will take notice. Then where the fun part comes in, because you're going to start making a lot of friends that want to help you spread the same ideas that they have, and that's dope.
All right, guys, let's get into the memes.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom Racks.
Wait. Before... Cedar.io. I was here for laughs, not for feels. Shee. Oh, man. All right. This is your favorite portion of the show, the meme review, where you send us memes on Twitter, Simply Bitcoin TV, or drop them in our Telegram group, and I will get them on the show. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. Make sure you ridicule the corporate press. Make sure you get the calls of actions out there. And then, of course, make sure you just make the funnies to keep your friend's head in the game, because it's a dark world out there, and memes definitely keep people's heads in the game. Anyways, first meme is by @ColdCarWallet, and it goes, the 10 commandments of Bitcoin self-custody. 1, you shall back up your Bitcoin seed. 2, you shall test your backups. 3, you shall self-validate with a full node. 4, you shall not dox your UTXOs. 5, you shall not have single points of failure. 6, you shall keep the Bitcoin private key air-gapped. 7, you shall coin control. 8, you shall kiss, aka keep it simple, stupid. 9, you shall not talk about your hodl. And 10, you shall stack more sats. Okay, this next one is by the Bitcoin Therapist. And context for this one. If you haven't watched the Balaji Marty Bent 4-hour marathon pod, I highly suggest you go watch it. I finally finished it last night after like 5 parts. And then this morning I woke up and I saw this Bitcoin Therapist meme and I was like, dang, that's perfect. Anyways, the therapist goes, actions are louder than words, #BTC. And we have the dollar here and someone's sitting here all lonely and it's labeled treasuries. And then we have the Bitcoin, what do you call this? Stand. And we got BlackRock and Valkyrie and every other institution that I don't remember via their logos. But they're all lining up to get on the Bitcoin train. It's only a matter of time until they unleash this ETF money on all of us and number goes up. But take Bitcoin into self-custody. This is the way. hence why I did the cold card one first. Anyways, this next one is by Cedric Youngelman, aka the podcast for the Bitcoin Matrix. Shouts out to you, Ced. And he goes, hashtag Bitcoin facts. And this is a classic meme template. And we got a guy on the phone. He goes, hi, I'd like a wake up call. And the girl on the other side goes, the price of goods isn't going up. Government involvement in the market is making the value of your dollar go down. It's so simple, guys. You're not getting richer. Your dollar is getting weaker. Anyways, this next one is by Brecky, and it's kind of like a play on those classic like wolf t-shirts that you know the cool kids wear, but it's got a Bitcoin logo. But considering that I have Rope on here and he sometimes gives us cheesy quotes to his meme, I thought it was very fitting. So we got Brecky here, and he goes, one evening an old Odell told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside people. He said, my son, the battle is between two wolves inside us all. One is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. And the grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, which wolf wins? And the old Odell simply replied, whichever one is more humble and stacks the most sats. If you know, you know. Okay, this next one is by @OtherBerryBTC, and he goes, mentally I'm here, and we got this bus station stand, and the stand says autism peak, and we got all the different Pepe flavors over here, which are basically just a bunch of different variations of Rope every single day of the week. All right, this next one is by Wojak Bitcoin. And I think it's I didn't really plan it this well, but considering everything that Rope said, it's a fitting bow tie to today's episode. And it goes, men only need 4 things. Men only need 4 things to be happy: a family, fitness, wisdom, and Bitcoin. And it's got the Chad Bitcoiner over here. This is the way, boys and girls. Get fit, get your money right, build a family, and stack more sats. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat over there. And we will cover ours live. Okay, mine is, I don't think I've given this, but, well, I thought I didn't give this score, but now that I'm bringing it up, it feels like I'm having deja vu. So maybe I have gave this score. So if anyone remembers, you guys can throw tomatoes later. It's my Stream Deck. It's unplugged. I have, damn, wrecked. Okay, all right. You go, Rope. Let me
tomatoes. My meme review score is the shirt worldofrusty.com. It's the classic play on my meme. Go get you 5, 6, 7 of them. Go do that, please.
Let's go. Are they're still on this website?
They better be, because I didn't even check beforehand.
All right. Well, since Rope told me I already gave my score, then I'm gonna give it this fold bandana then.
Okay.
Yellow fold bandana.
I'm gonna give it this Run Nodes voltage sticker that I just put on my essential water. Boom.
Let's go.
Run those nodes. Anyways, everybody, let's pull up some of the meme scores. Let's see what we have today.
Wine. Fuck, he's reading it. That isn't a meme. Yes, it is. Memes can be tweets too. Okay. Hey, I am the captain now. I make the meme review whatever I want it to be. Okay. All right. First meme review score. Are you reading, Nico, or am I reading? You're reading.
Nope, not a day. I give the memes Nico's highlights. Seriously, please take it. Like, please take it off. Is that what you mean? I'm just kind of like let it grow out and see where it goes. Maybe I diet.
Oh, wait. I don't know. This one you probably shouldn't read. Sorry. Optis.
UTXO. Optis filter is atrocious. Anyways, UTXO. I give the memes a massive sermon impaction. I don't know. Okay.
Hashtag we can't read. Hashtag simply Bitcoin doesn't know words.
I like that. All right, next one by Michael Ward. I give the memes 1 BlackRock ETF paper voucher.
Oof. True.
Rave Elevator. Score the memes the first @Simply Bitcoin Pleb of the Month award presented to Hodl Tarantula.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Bitcoin Becca. I give the memes 3 gingers out of 5.
Theodore, I don't know if we can say this one, so this one might have some violence calls. Don't read it, Nico.
Max Trotter, I give the memes a yellow sock puppet. Sock puppet. Hold on a second. Puppet.
Wait, this one's red. Wait, no, I don't. Rope could read this. Rope could read this.
I can read? I can't read, bro. I don't know how to read. 50 AK forever stay
What?
penis out there. Penis out there.
What?
Thank you, Nikes.
Thank you, Wine.
What the fuck?
We can edit it. We can edit that out. Is this
No,
live?
we
This
can't.
is live. This is live?
Keep going, Nico. Keep the show going. We do this live.
Oh,
This is a biology podcast. Just tell them we're into
Simply
biology.
Bitcoin does not approve of what just happened. Okay. God damn it, Wine. What the fuck, man? Ched Bitcoiner, give the memes a yellow plushie to rope. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Hodl Coin, I give the memes some wax for Gensler's head. And then the next one, McLovin, Opti Big Mac coin wallet comes to fruition finally.
Wait. Speaking of, I saw that there's a new shitcoin out there on Twitter, and it's the $ Opti. I did not affiliated. There's a shitcoin in my name now.
Sus.
Son of Satoshi, the script of Opti and his girlfriend's Christine's Twilight-like movie.
Oh man. All right.
Bushmaster, ETF. What? Okay, I like it.
Wait, all right. This is the last one. Let's.
You deserve real money. I scored those memes. One YouTube ruling coming to the stream soon.
Oh man. It's the Friday show, Nico. It's the Friday show.
It's the Friday show. I apologize for the family-friendly audience. Opti, just let it slip in there, I guess. But anyways, it is the Friday show, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. I want to give a very special shout out to our guest, Rope. Thank you so much for joining us today, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And of course, this was gonna happen on the show that you came on.
I do cross the line every now and then.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You guys could follow him. We have his handle pulled up on screen at Ropium. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Simply Bitcoin Live. We really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. If you feel like we provided you value, consider subscribing. And, the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution forward is share this content. Yeah, we'll see you guys on Monday for another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Until then, Rustin's gonna be holding it down over the weekend. He's gonna be dropping some fire ass clips on Saturday, on Sunday. One's gonna be coming out today, so it should be a lot of fun. But anyways, until then, guys, love you all. Enjoy your weekend. And if you want to join the after party, join us on Twitter Spaces. Opti's going to be holding it down, and we co-host that Twitter Spaces with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin. Best place to build your Bitcoin stack. Check out swan.com today. Shout out to the best producer in the game, producer Jacob. But until then, guys, peace out, y'all.